I want to get into a little segment now where we're going to be talking about what wisdom has taught us, what we have learned growing up, and maybe how our outlook has changed on certain things in life. And I'm going to use it as a way of giving the listeners a little bit of advice or inspiration, or, you know, just letting them understand a little bit more about the changes and things that you've gone through in life. So what would you say is something that you'd like to share that you've learned during your time on this earth?
The learning process is don't stop. So I've learned probably the most about myself in probably the last 3-4 years than ever. Unlearning things that I've learned in my teenage years, learned behaviours, like my sexism.
Yeah. Oh, you've learned about your sexism?
No, I learned that a while ago, but when you really learn what it is and you realise the structure and you realise what you add to it, so you can change your thinking. Yeah. Little learnt behaviours. And
can I just touch back on that point, because I had a random conversation on Facebook the other day about feminism with a guy called Xander Jadu, and that has then led into us now on Thursday. We're doing a recorded podcast edition where men and women are going to be talking about feminism and how they feel about it, because a lot of black men online feel that, and this is the expression I hear all the time, that feminism is damaging the black community. So I've found a bunch of men who have those views, and we're just going to debate it and try and get to the bottom of why people feel like that. Why do you think some men feel like it's damaging the community?
It's the definition of feminist. What community you talk about? If you talk about
the black community specifically,
then like European kind of white feminism in the black community, like that doesn't work. But we need to brand our own branded how feminism's gonna work. You know what I mean? I think it's more about that than just us using the blanket terms and defining what it's going to mean for our communities personally.
Definitely. So we're going to be having the debate next week. There'll be Xander Jadu, Corey Guns, Big Zayam, or Big Slam, I think his name is, Shodi's Alan Dexter, and Jade, whose surname I've forgotten, but I'll look it up and let you know. So yeah, we're going to be coming together to talk about that, because I do feel like there needs to be more communication between the sexes, black men and black women.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of assumptions made, and I don't think we're actually listening to each other sometimes.
No, and there is that us and that us. There's a basic civil war going on. So
I do feel like that. I feel like it's a competition, because I started a group chat so we could prepare for this, and what it seemed like to me is like there's a competition, and some black men, the ones that I'm going to be talking to, feel like their struggle is worse, and so we can't say anything about what we're going through because we don't have it as bad as you. But it's not a competition.
Women's struggle is worse.
It is, because you got two struggles.
There's different dynamic. There's so many different dynamics in front of them. You know what I mean? Like even when we do, even the stuff I do with kids, with young people, and I say in front of them like, yo, the things that we're talking about in these gangs, in these groups, in these this and that, women are treated the worst. Yeah. You know what I mean? Women can be, like a teenage girl is the most vulnerable. So I look at, for me, at this point in my life, I see it as like, all right, I've got, my issues with women is, like, I don't know, it's more about when men are going through stuff, there has to be some leeway. You can't be like, well, because men are generally cheaters or men are generally bad, you haven't got feelings because of the rest of you. That is my only part with it. But I would give it up that women experience worse things and got a lot more pressures physically, socially. You know what I mean? So I give it up to women of that, but I still hold a little ground to be like, but I still have feelings. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that is the part where guys don't have like, if a guy loses his job, he's a bum. He's like, if you get what I mean? It's just like we can just get thrown out in the rubbish if we've felt short. and that whole like the suicide in men is a big thing because people want to throw away our masculinity. Oh, you never met up to this, you're not a man.
Yeah.
So it's like us saying to a woman, your breast ain't big, you're not a woman.
People
you haven't
do
got a
say
child.
that.
Yes, but you haven't got a child, you're not a But that is clearly cruel, isn't it?
It is.
And everybody will say that's cruel. But towards a man, there's no... It's like people cool with letting that... And that is, for me, that's where a lot of the frustration with men start.
But I feel like it's kind of changing because I feel like women talk a lot about, you know, men should have those spaces and be able to cry and be able to have emotion and show emotion. But it seems and like it's black other men that are stopping it and saying, nah, that's not manly. And women are like, you know what, you should open up, show your feelings.
But they say that, but there's a lot of men who's done that. That can get thrown back in your face,
I guess.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you go to me, that can easily get thrown back in your face. And guess what? He was crying. I never forget one comedian said this. This was hilarious. He said, yo, a girl will throw some stuff back in your face. So he said, he saw a couple arguing in the club, and the girl just said, well, the next time you want to kill yourself, don't call me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. What do you say to that as well? What do you say?
So you go to me, and it's like, that is the only... I would say women do face the most, and it's for men to actually make women feel secure, make sure those things are not going to happen to them, and they're supported and they're listened to. But at the same time, you can't like a man would just switch off if he feels that he can't have feelings, and anything he does can be just twisted to use against him. You know what I mean? Masculinity is so frivolous. A man could wear the wrong size shirt, that's the wrong colour, and have a whole like something thrown on top of him, thrown on him just because of that. So
that is true.
We just have to protect ourselves at the same time, but give that support to women. Personally, that's how I feel. And
I also feel like, I don't know, I can't speak for all women, but I feel like generally, as a black woman, I can understand what you go through as a black man. I can look at your struggle and say, I see what you're going through. I see that this is hard for you. But it seems like some of the black men, the ones that we're going to be talking to, they can't even see that we have a struggle. It's like we're black and we have that struggle, but there isn't anything else.
Probably because the women in my family, I know stories that my mum went through. I know what my grandma has sat me down and told me stories about what she went through in her family. And, you know what I mean, I've had, like, too many relationships that I talk, so I'll find out, you know what I mean, different things. So I'll see different things that's happened within women. Like, when I'm working with young girls, and I'll say, and say after, like, vulnerable of being around and get gang involvement, I'll be like, all right then, if there's a gang of 17-year-old guys, would you say that one or more of them could possibly be a rapist? And they'll be like, yeah. 2 or more, yeah. Maybe 3 or more, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's gang involvement. Then I say, well, if you were just going to work at a bank with 15 guys and you was having a Christmas party, are you going to really get drunk around them that you don't know them well? And they'd be like, well, I wouldn't, because the same things. So what women have to go through is a different kind of different things, like security wise and whatnot. And men have to recognise that. Yeah.
And they don't. Some of them just really don't. Like, just living and going about your day-to-day life as a woman can be difficult. You're walking home, it's a bit dark. It can be scary sometimes.
If I woke up I woke up in the morning, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a woman. Yeah, I'll be... First, I'll be I'll be nice anyway,
be a hot woman.
Yeah, but I know I'll be going different places. Now, there'll probably be perks. People open the door for me, this and that. But there'll be certain kind of instances where I'll be like, oh my God, I'm in raw danger here.
Yes.
And I wouldn't... You understand what I'm saying? And I know that the way people would react to me is different. And me, if I end up a pretty girl, it'll help me. It'll probably even help me in that position or get me into worse situations. So I do understand. I've got a bit of empathy where I can slightly put myself in other people's shoes at times.
I think that's the thing with growing. You have to learn to see things from other people's perspective, because not everyone leads the same life as you.
And I was a different person before, so I've been a whole person. I've been a criminal. I've done little parts of my life when I've done like some things I regret and some, you know what I mean, some bad stuff. So with that, I can kind of reflect and try to, you know what I mean, heal myself and make sure that people don't do the same thing.
And it's worrying as well, because some of these people have daughters, and it's kind of like, if you can't understand that now, how are you going to help her in the world if you can't see that she might have a struggle that's different to yours, that she might need to talk to you about at some point?
That is the blank thing. And even switching that to women. So when women say, a guy should do this and do that, and then you say, what if your son was in that position with a girl? And they'll be like, well, and they'll want their son to be like,
different to the rest. Yeah, like, I don't get that.
So they want like, man should do that. He should do everything, and he should do. And they'll be like, man should do everything, every last cent of his money, everything. Yeah. And they'll be like, what about your son? And they'll be like, no.
Exactly.
So a lot of time when girls switch that, I'll be like, so what if it's your brother or your son? And then if they have the same, like if you say how a girl's treated, and they say, what about your daughter? And I'd be like, yes, I'm cool with my daughter getting treated like that. Then I fully approve of it. Yeah. It's not like, well, I'm not
exactly, because if it's good enough for this woman, it's good enough for your daughter.
Yes, and I think that's this. If we work by those standards, I think there'll be more kind of unity between men and women.
Yeah. Just need some understanding. I think some people just need to listen. It reminds me of like Piers Morgan, when people talk to him about race, and he'll be like, I don't see it, I don't think that's racism, I've never seen that in my life.
Racism and sexism is a similar accord. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not the same, but it is a similar because it's systematic. Yeah. You know what I mean? The same way black people was written out of history is the same way women were written out of history. You can't tell me that. I'm sorry, you can't tell me. I don't want to get religious, but you can't tell me there was no woman in the Bible who really done anything. You go around that time. Maybe some it was edited out, but women were put on the back foot historically. Definitely. Like people got together and done that. Same with on the race. So it's the same kind of thing, and we have to see it as systematic. We might not see it as there. Male privilege, we might not see it, but it totally exists.
I agree. We went off into a random tangent then. I guess that's something we've learned with age though, so it still fits in. Yeah. It still ties in.
I've learned that one thing I've learned that you do change every few years. Being around certain kind of people is a big thing. Yeah.
And you should be changing. If you don't change over a long period of time, then there's something wrong with you, because everyone should be changing and growing and evolving.
And to grow and to get opportunities, you need to be around good circles. Yeah. So if you're don't know, you live in a certain kind of area and most of your friends are on certain type of things, you're not going to get opportunities to go to certain countries to do, because you won't be around that. Yeah. You know what I mean? When certain illegal things come into the neighbourhood, you might get an opportunity on that, because those will be the opportunities put in front of you. But if you've got around people who are doing lots of things, you can get different opportunities just being around that kind of circle and that positive energy. So that's some advice I'll give.
One thing I wanted to say as to what I've learned in life, and that was just about positive thinking and positive action, because I think when I was younger I used to think that if I just think positively then stuff will happen, but then now I'm older I've realised I have to think positively and then also do positive things that will make those things happen. Like just sitting and thinking about it isn't going to change your life. Like you have to actually make the effort, make moves and put yourself out there in order for your blessings to come to you.
Totally. You have to kind of talk things into existence. It's like a rapper or a singer with great talent. Yeah. If he doesn't like he could have the talent to make the best rap albums ever. If we don't write and stick to writing and go to make sure he turns up at studio and think about if he doesn't do all of that,
then it's meaningless.
It's meaningless. So yeah, it is about action and putting yourself forward.
And another thing I wanted to say was confidence. I feel like that is something that has taken me a lot of time to kind of develop. Like growing up, I was not confident at all. Even a few years ago, I would not have been sat here now talking and like comfortable sitting here. So I feel like over the past few years, I've really had to work on that. And it's not just a thing where you just wake up and you feel confident. For me, I have to have conversations with myself and tell myself like, you need to just stop freaking out. You need to do this. You need to do that, and just put myself into the right mindset so that I can be confident.
For me, so it can be a bit opposite. Where from like teenagers, I was a popular person, but and when you're a confident person, it happens when you go on low moments. Yeah. And if everybody expects you to hold this level of confidence that you can't hold, so sometimes it can have you putting on a smile that you haven't got in your heart. So that is the problem with people who are confident, because it does dip up and down, and some people want you to be that kind of person 24/7.